Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So this is not exactly one that Jack and I had planned in the pipeline, but hey, things happen. And where we are located on the globe right now in Brisbane, Australia, we have found ourselves in an unpredicted snap lockdown for the next few days, hopefully just the next few days, which means we unfortunately don't have access to a gym. But luckily and gratefully, we do have access to some equipment here at home. So thought we would take you through a video today to show you how we are making the most of our home workouts with what we have. So to begin with, Jack is gonna give us a little tour of our little home gym.
So guys, we've got a great little setup here in our dining room, and last lockdown we had a really good setup. We had a barbell, like 160 kilos of weight. We had a squat rack, a bench, even a lat pull down, a cable setup, leg extension, leg curl, and we got rid of it because we thought we'd seen the last of these snap lockdowns, but unfortunately not. And this is what we have at the moment. So still more than enough to continue progressing, but a little barbell, about 50 kilos of weight, some adjustable dumbbells, two 22.5 kilo dumbbells, which we've actually weighed, and they're actually a kilo heavier than what they say. So I mean, that's a win, most certainly. And we've got a good assortment of bands here, some really nice thick ones, which I did some single arm lat pull down with the other day. Like, these are actually replicable to the intensity I'd go in the gym, which is great. An assortment of bands here of different intensities, I guess you would call it, and some ankle attachments and wrist attachments, which are great for the bands, and some little yoga foam rolling stuff over there. We've got
the best way to build muscle.
we've got a mirror setup, which is nice, and we've got a 5-star sound system there as well, which is very nice, and a pull-up bar to Sierra's left. And our gym also comes with a fully furnished kitchen and a bathroom.
An ensuite fridge. What more could you ask for?
We're living in luxury, and we've got some two doggos who are probably chasing up and down the fence right now, but they give us some moral support throughout our workouts. But today what we're going to do is basically run through a little bit of our workouts and basically give you guys a few tips to basically maximize the intensity of your home workouts if you ever unfortunately have to go into a snap lockdown or don't have access to the gym. Because one of the most annoying aspects of working out from home is just not being able to replicate that same intensity or proximity to failure as you have the luxury of going to in the gym with machines and an abundance of weight. So let's get stuck into it.
Okay guys, so tip number one when you're training at home is to be strategic with your exercise selection. So let's say that you want to train your quads, and usually when you train your quads at the gym, you've got access to a heavy leg press, you've got Smith machines, pendulum squats, hack squats, heavy barbells, leg extension, you name it. But then when you're taken out of the gym and you're thrown into a home workout, usually you don't have access to that sort of equipment. So it's important to be strategic with which exercises you decide to do so that you still can challenge that musculature. So let's say you're at home and you're pretty limited with the amount of equipment that you have and also the total amount of weight you have access to. It would be a lot more strategic if you want to train your quads to do something like a Bulgarian split squat compared to something like a goblet squat. Because when weight's limited, if you're doing a goblet squat, let's be honest, your heart, your lungs, and your patience are probably going to give out a lot sooner than your quads. Particularly because this is like a bilateral movement, meaning that you are training both limbs at the same time. But if you do something like a Bulgarian split squat, which is a unilateral movement, meaning you're only training one limb at a time, this can be a lot more challenging and you can put greater stress on the musculature if you are limited with weight. Particularly if you perform it very strictly, you control that eccentric, maybe even put a pause at the bottom, and you work in a semi-higher rep range. So doing the tough stuff, it's likely to benefit you when lockdown strikes.
So guys, tip number 2 for home workouts is basically going to be your rep range. And I've just done a high rep set, which you can probably tell, a little bit out of breath, but essentially the exercise I'm doing is dumbbell bench press. And Of course, we only have access to around 23.5 kilos each hand, and typically I would probably do around 40 kilos each hand for maybe 6 to 10 reps. So I'm basically just going to do as many reps as I need to do in order to get closer to failure. So for example, on these I might have to do 15 to 20 reps or even 20 plus reps to get close to that point of failure or to failure. And basically the lower the weight you have, the more reps you might need to do. And the good thing about training for hypertrophy is that if you need to do 30 reps, then that is okay. You're still going to be able to progress and grow muscle from doing that amount of reps. Is it ideal necessarily? No, but it gets the job done.
Two birds with one stone as well. We got cardio going on and we got weight training. Thank you. Special protein delivery. We will not miss that post-workout anabolic window.
So guys, we've been interrupted mid-workout by a special delivery, and I'm kind of surprised that it arrived considering it's lockdown, but be safe around knives, people. But we're going to check what it is. It's from VPA Australia. They are kind enough to send us some goodies every now and then, and I think this is a bit of a mystery box. I'm not quite sure what's in it. Hopefully it's some good stuff.
Something anabolic.
Something anabolic. Well, that's guaranteed, but we don't always use all of their products, to be completely honest, and they know that. So it looks like we've got 3 different things here. No, 4 actually. 1, VPA mask. Not necessary for our workouts at the moment. And item number 2 is some micellar casein, so just casein.
Ooh, we got a casein.
And that's iced coffee flavor.
Yeah.
And that's actually something I do like and I will use. Casein's actually a really great, well, at least VPA's casein is a great source of calcium, which is excellent if you're a vegetarian.
Yeah, I think 1 scoop is equivalent to like the calcium you'd get in like 2 cups of milk.
Crazy. And then this is actually a good item as well. So whey protein isolate. This is the salted caramel flavor. If you are buying protein from VPA, there are a few flavors I would recommend: vanilla, salted caramel, choc mint. The rainbow ice cream is really good. And
Banana's not too bad. If you like banana flavor, the banana's good too.
To be fair, they're all pretty decent. And this is a exciting shaker, which technically I can't show you guys yet, but you can't really see in here. But this is, I think, a shaker that they're bringing out in the near future. I think something's to do with the Olympics, so keep an eye out for that. They do have a lot of limited edition metal shakers, which are actually really nice. So not a bad little interruption to our workout, and we were running a bit low on casein anyway, so that was a good addition.
Yeah, and if you guys want to save 10% off VPA, make sure to use the codes either Jack or Tiara at the checkout. We won't mind which one you choose.
Yep, we'll just use mine. I think Tiara's one is broken or something, so I think mine's the only one that's working at the moment.
Oh, I hear that I actually get 15% off, not just 10. All right, guys, so tip number 3 for home workouts is frequency. Now, when I say frequency, I'm not necessarily talking about the number of times that you would be targeting a certain muscle group per week, because whether or not you're in the gym or you're training at home, would highly recommend hitting each muscle group at least twice a week to see growth and development. But when I talk about frequency in terms of home workouts, I'm talking about how frequently you do the exact same exercise or same movement pattern during the week. Now, when you're training at home and you have limited access to equipment, limited access to weights, it's perfectly fine to repeat the same exercise a couple times during the week if that exercise is going to give you the greatest stimulus for growth. So for example, if you are limited with weights and you're limited with equipment, but you are fortunate enough to have access to something like a chin-up bar or something you can do pull-ups on, and that's going to be the best exercise for your back, then go for your life and do pull-ups or chin-ups a few times during the week, because even if you're training your back a couple times during the week in the gym and you've got access to like a lat pull-down machine, plate-loaded row machines, cable rows, you name it, unfortunately, you just can't replicate that at home, so you gotta do your best. And that goes the same for any muscle group. So if RDLs are gonna be the best way to target your hamstrings during the week at home, if shoulder press is gonna be the best way to target your delts, go for your life, incorporate some repetition, incorporate some higher frequency of those movements, and maintain and keep growing your muscle.
So guys, the fourth and final point of this video is basically some modifications you can do to your exercises to increase the proximity to failure, make them more difficult, and so that basically you don't have to do quite so many reps. Because let's be honest, especially for someone like me, who my cardiovascular fitness is not as good as it once was when I used to play football, if I'm doing 30 plus reps, especially on leg day, in order to get close to failure, probably my fitness is going to be the limiting factor and not my muscles, which we don't want, of course, for hypertrophy. So point number one for this is basically to slow down the eccentric portion of the lift. And we know that the eccentric portion of the lift is more relevant for muscle damage anyway. And a lot of people, even in the gym, could probably benefit from slowing down the eccentric portion of their lifts. And point number two is to add in a pause. So depending on which exercise you do, it'll either be in the shortened position of the muscle or the lengthened position. So let's say you're doing a chest fly. Ideally, you would want to pause in the shortened position where the pecs are at their most shortest point, if that makes sense. And for something like a bench press, you would probably want to pause when the bar is on your chest or the dumbbells are in the end position where the pecs are lengthened. So hopefully those tips will help. I can guarantee you it'll make the exercise more difficult and allow you to have a more effective workout. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us for this video. As you can see, we're doing our best to stay positive during this lockdown. These two certainly help with that. But we have some equipment, we don't have everything. But hopefully some of these little tips we provided in this video will help you in your lockdown workouts, and you can bet we're still going to try our best to progress throughout this period.
Yeah, just remember that something is always better than nothing, and if there's a will, there's a way. And
Definitely.
you know, they can take away your gym, but they can't take away your passion for lifting, and luckily they can't take away your dogs. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let us know what you'd like to see in our future videos, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See you guys.
Oh, oh.